Welcome to episode 67 of The Life of a TV Addict. I'm Sasha.
Notorious FPG.
And we're here to bring you the week in TV. And what a week it has been.
It was pretty good.
So I want to start with some of the picks from last time. I think you had Dietland, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I watched that one. Did you watch both of the episodes?
Yeah, they actually had all three up on the app. So I actually watched all three of them.
Wait, did I watch 3? What was the last one? I don't know if I watched 3 or 2.
Had the tiger visual. Did you get
that? Was the first or second one. Yeah, that because I saw that one.
What was the last one?
I'll tell you how many I
watched. Have to watch it again anyway. But yeah, I watched it too. What'd you think of it? Well,
I liked it.
That you said you thought Vanessa Williams would have been a better.
Yeah, I don't think that the Good Wife can. She can't deliver that mean girl what she's supposed to be, because I mean, if anybody who watches would notice that she's supposed to be like Wilhelmina was on Ugly Betty at the magazine.
And you know who else I thought of? I would have loved Vanessa Williams in that role, but Callista Flockhart. Like, I was thinking about when Supergirl first came on, she was that Cat Graham character, and I was like the body type and everything. I could have saw her in that role too.
Yeah, she's not delivering as the mean boss who's shallow and think about looks and is talking down. She just doesn't come across, in my opinion. She's not doing a great job of that. And like I said, was Vanessa Williams busy? Like, could y'all not get her? So I'm looking at the thing. I did watch all 3 because they had the first 2 under one. It was the pilot, and then it was Tender Belly, and then it was another one. So I watched all 3.
Okay. So I can't remember exactly what the third one was, but I liked it. I'm here for it. I think it's an interesting premise that she's going for the surgery and they're trying to talk her. I don't want to say talk her out of it, but I feel like the lady, Verena, that she's going to be going to, is trying to get her to the mindset of you don't need that to get to a healthier lifestyle.
Wait, but wasn't that story funny as fuck? The one that she wanted to go see because the lady that's giving her the $20,000 if she goes with her mother and what she was doing. I was like,
but I was like, yo, they really being real, because I've heard some people have had bad reactions to that surgery. So she's like, yeah, she had to wear a diaper for the rest of her life, and da da da.
But she was making money.
I was like, whoa, that's crazy. And then the thing, I'm still not sure where the guys are coming in with it. If it's supposed to be about weight, is it supposed to be about like the Me Too rape movement? Like, because that's what I think the guys getting kidnapped thing is.
I honestly, if we're being honest, I think they could leave that part out or maybe do it another season, because it doesn't seem like it fits with the story unless she's the one killing them because we see that she's having these hallucinations and she's not herself because she went off the medicine. So unless she's the one actually committing the murders, and it's going to be like, what is the movie with Brad Pitt, my boo? Fight Club, or one of those type of things where she's really like out of herself and is committing the murders.
Unbeknownst to her, really, yeah.
They could leave that shit out.
It's like it doesn't
add anything.
Fit.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what I should be focusing on. Now, down the road, if you tell me, like, I was thinking it could be something where she answered a question to one of the victims or something, you know what I mean? And then it drove them to suicide or drove them to something else, and it made people active. Mm-hmm. Maybe they could tie it together, but for the first few episodes, you're right, it just doesn't fit for me. So I like the guy playing the detective, though, because he was on Ripper Street. I put that on Twitter. But I used to love Ripper Street on BBC America.
Oh, sorry.
And he was...
Go ahead, you can finish.
He was on that show. But... what do you think about his tactics and him and his wife? Like, don't wear your ring, be kind of flirty.
I didn't care about it.
Yeah,
I don't know.
But
I didn't think.
That girl already in love. She haven't been
I know.
Tiger and everything.
Talk about something. He's better than what's the name? The rest of them or some shit. He say. Fred was like, you only dated one other person. What are you talking about? I don't know. Some of the stuff. I just think it seems like they're trying to go to push the limits, that they're adding a lot of things that may not be necessary. I think the story of her finding this alternative to what she wants, and that this whole thing with the makeup, the people in the makeup room and whatever that is about, like all of that, I think would be enough to keep the show going. The murders, like I said, unless it's that this thing with the guy and whatever he's going on, unless he's investigating her, I don't care about you either. I don't know.
It seems like he thinks she's gonna be like his mole, unbeknownst to her.
Oh, okay.
We saw him going through her computer. We saw him. He even said to his wife, like, "I think I found an inside man." So I'm like, if you're kind of flirty and she works there, will she be more prone to giving you information and telling you things that may help? I don't know.
I don't know either. I just don't know. I don't know where those other parts, but it was a pretty good show, in my opinion. I'm back. Yeah, I was like, you know what? I keep saying they need to do that with all of the shows. Well, I'm seeing that they're doing it with a lot of them, because we even had Cloak and Dagger this week, and they ran the first two. Because it lets them tell the background information, which we all hate on the shows, but we all need, because we always say it's like the boring episode, but you need the information to get to the next parts, and give us the action for the next part to get us in exactly at the same time. Because if this show, maybe if it didn't have a binge, I don't know if I would have been all in on it. Cloak and Dagger, the same thing. Even though I waited for it, I was like, okay, what? I mean, other than me being hyped about it, I wouldn't come back.
That bad?
I didn't think that it was anything. First of all, I still can't figure out what the fuck is the Cloak and the Dagger going on. Like, what happened? It's like they're trying to intertwine the background story with the present with this, but it's not connecting the dots enough. We saw that it was an accident, and Cloak and Dagger is the Marvel show on Freeform. We saw that it was an accident, that her father was in charge of the oil rig and it exploded, but he was trying to get them to do something with it and they didn't. They exploded while they were driving, so he crashes off the bridge. At the same time, the boy kind of jumps into the water or something.
Jumps in after his brother, who the police
shot. Well, it wasn't really a cop. Yeah, we learned he's not a cop. So, but other than that, like, did the oil give off something? Like, what happened?
Well, what I got from it, which was, I think they kind of leaked to it after the fact, was there was some sort of secret science going on the rig. It wasn't just a regular oil rig, and that's what they put on the father, that he was telling them to shut down a reactor of some sort. But oil rigs don't have reactors on them, they dig. So when he was saying that, I was like, okay, they doing some illegal shit out there. And whatever exploded we saw it send the shockwave through the water, which the girl and the boy were both in the water at the time. And they both were on the beach when they were found. So
is that, but I don't know, it just left it
like maybe that's her weapon of choice. Because remember, when she was getting attacked, a dagger, a knife, appeared in her hand.
Yeah, like and that white thing or whatever.
The cloak is, remember, he hides. He kept pulling things over him and hiding, and he was always, when he was somewhere he didn't want to be, when he pulled that piece of plastic over him, he was somewhere else. So that's a cloak. That's a dagger.
They need to get fucking Blue Clues footprints on this shit to help us along, because it was just like, okay, I saw when she was getting attacked in the thing. I guess it wasn't making any sense, because they meet at this party, and when they get together, the light comes on, right? So it's like, oh, okay, that's the key, that they need to be together in order to invoke or to have their superpowers activate, is that they need to be together. But then we see her getting raped in the alley and he's not there, but then it happens again. So then you're like, okay, does she not need him, or was he just the starter to ignite it and get it going, and then it will happen all the time? Like, what the fuck? I don't know.
Well, I thought about that. It was that last thing you just said, that that initial meeting like kind of activated it.
Okay.
Because we saw after that, like you said, they were having visions, and one sees a person's hope while the other one sees a person's fear. Because that's what the girl, when she saw the boy, when she touched the boyfriend and the mom, she saw their hopes for her, hopes for the future. And when the boy touched his mom, he saw that her fear is not only having lost one son but losing another son. So they're like they're like yin and yang. It seems like they're like the polar opposites of each other. And then when they come together, they like repel, because we saw when they actually touched, they got flung apart.
Yeah, it's just not.
But they got to discover it. I'm sure they got to set more up. But I mean, I can see what you're saying. But I think it's enough of a story there that will keep me coming back, and I'd be interested to see where it goes, how they make it work. Do
they need to do something, because this, I'm sorry, it just was like, Yeah. And then she gets the thing in her hand, and you're like, okay, so I get that's the dagger. It came out, but does it just come out like Wolverine when she's upset? Right. Does she make it come, right, or do they like? It's not enough there. And then, like I said, they never really tell us. I guess that's going to go on throughout the season, but by the end of this season, we should know what actually caused them to get these powers.
Right.
Because I can't take it anymore. And then we need to know why this company killed his brother, who was trying to return radios. Like, what? Why was that important? And that this cop had to kill? I don't know. It just was like, after you watched it, you was like, looking around like, okay. I waited. Look, I waited 2 months, so I guess. I
see your point with that, but it was enough there for me to come back. I'm interested.
Shit, we ain't got no choice. We done waited 2 fucking months. We all in now. We all the fucking. I had to watch. Oh my god, how many times I had to restart this show? I was like, what the fuck? It was like torture.
I know I guess this is just me being picky, but do all the female leads have to look alike? This girl looks like the girl from The Gifted, who looks like when we had Heroes. It's like is this the main thing? You always gotta be a blonde appearance of some sort of cheerleader looking esque to get to be in these stories? Because I was like, God, these girls all look alike.
No, all white people look alike to me.
Stop.
Nah, I'm joking. No, it just was like, it just wasn't enough for me. But I'll be back, because I done waited so long. I can't go nowhere.
I mean, we see the mom is still fighting, and she's still dealing with her issues, and obviously they never accepted that the father was involved in this, so there's gonna be some investigation in that, and this guy who killed his brother is somehow connected with this company.
Yeah, so I just don't know. I was hoping that they would get like a bunch of, I don't know. I'm like, I just don't know. It just was all over the place, and it wasn't enough in place.
Right.
You gotta do better. You gotta do better, or fucking bring the Avengers in. Then I don't care what you do with it. Because I just love the Avengers, so I'll just watch for that. Okay, so what was the other?
Girl, how could you say what was the other premiere?
No, I was gonna say what was the other thing, because you know what
Let's get to it. Let's go.
Oh, polls.
Yes.
If I tell you, and let me tell you, I'm being as honest as possible. I'm not exaggerating. I watched the show 2 times back to back. Went on to put it on for the 3rd time, and only stopped watching it because I had to go get my kids. That's the only thing that stopped me from watching it a 3rd straight time in a row. This was excellent.
I loved it.
Polls on FX. Oh my God.
Like, it's just enough to, like, they're giving everybody something, because you're getting your drag story and you're getting the backstory, but then you have this whole underlying story of, I don't know if it's underlying or maybe it'll become the main story of, HIV and ravaging this community and ravaging in the 80s, and, married men seeking out, transgender because they weren't able to live their truth. And I mean, it gave you so much.
I thought that, honestly, because they had the review about the white guy being in it that works for Trump and all of this. Like, most of the people were like, we could do without it. But I thought that it was kind of where you're going, like the show that there were other people that, even though in their normal lives they looked down on them and they talked about them and they do all of this, that they were engaging in that lifestyle also. And this one was kind of weird with the white guy and the girl, because he didn't want to have sex with her. He didn't have sex with her, but then he wanted to kiss her. And then I thought her thing was going to be, yeah, like, well, I don't kiss because, I'm an escort and I don't, like, we can't kiss. You can have sex if you want, but not kissing. And he wanted to kiss her, and then he runs home and brushes his teeth. And I took it more so like he's in denial of who he actually is. So I thought it was okay. And then to kind of see, like, she's taking, first you think it's like this, she's mistakenly believing that he cares about her or that it's something there because he kisses her and she shows up somewhere, and then he's like, get out of here, don't ever come around here, like, I have a wife. And then he comes back to her,
right?
And you're like, what is going on with this story? Like, is that gonna be her sugar daddy?
I saw what you were saying. A lot of people on Twitter were saying the same thing, like, oh, we don't need this white boy, da da da. I feel like they're worried that it's going to take over the story of the transgender and the ball and the drag and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I think Ryan Murphy is in tune enough to know that this is the main thing. This is what we're here for. We're here for the ball. We're here for that story. We'll let you have these other little legs and have these other little side hustles, but this is why we're going to show up every week.
Oh my God!
I don't think he would let that take over. So I understand people being concerned, but it's still a story that has to be told, that this person was in the ball becoming famous and also escorting to make money to support being in the ball.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't have one without the other.
Yeah, I think that, yeah, but I just think that what they're concerned about is like that the story, that it to be a whole storyline, because like you're saying, her escorting, like we could have got that picture by her standing there walking up to cars and then her later telling us about the girls out there. Right. We would have got it like, oh, that's what you do for money. Mm-hmm. One of the other things that I really loved about the show was this whole thing about the family and all of this and how that comes about, and then we see the background story. Mm-hmm. On this boy getting kicked out of his home and sleeping on the park benches and being taken in, and how that works, because like I told you that now we talk about it. We talked about it when it was on My House, and now it's kind of a different thing. But that a lot of these houses, that's how it started, that they're finding you have nowhere to go. Mm-hmm. You have nowhere to live, and then you come into this family and then the way you're being treated. Yeah. And it seems like hers is like, Bianca is more like, I'm going to treat you like a family. I'm the mother, of course, but it's going to be more like a real family. I'm going to protect you, help you, this and that. Where the other one was like shade and all of this. Oh, you thought I wouldn't know that you were scrumming around? I know. Oh my.
I agree with you. I think that that's what we're going to see.
Is your dog pooping?
He farted. Yes, sorry.
Oh my gosh. Fat pretty girl bought a dog and he is stank.
He keeps looking over here. He's looking like, yeah, that was me. Sorry.
Oh my God. You're just gonna have to buy some air fresheners. The plug is. But go ahead.
But I would, and I think what the story would be is her being a nurturing house versus the other houses, the one she came from, not being so nurturing, not being, because we didn't see her pushing, Bianca to follow her dreams and all of this stuff. Whereas Bianca's out there, Blanca. Is it Blanca or Bianca?
I thought it was Bianca. Okay. It may be Blanca. I thought it was Bianca.
Pushing the guy to go to dance school and doing everything she can to get him in, and like just all those things that we didn't see going on in her house, but that she came from. So that was very interesting to see. I would love to see how this goes, because we know that one that she came from is not going to be happy if people start flocking to them and wanting to be a member of Blanca's house and not anyone else's. So
what's the name? Let me see. What's the name? I thought it was what's the name, Bianca. But they have the I don't know. It just was like the whole. I just thought it was a really, 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 really good show.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see.
I love Mr. What was his name? Know It All, Mr. Oh, the guy.
It is
that,
Blanca. Blanca.
Okay, and the guy that did the
The category is
what was his name? Mr. Know It All, something like that. But I loved him and his sagely advice.
I wonder if they're gonna get Pray Tell.
Mr. Pray Tell, okay.
I wonder if they're gonna get more into. I know she had made a mention of it. Like, we're named after supermodel whoever who stole my looks and this and that. I wonder if they're gonna get more into that of how their community and what they were doing. That in the mainstream, yeah, and that they weren't given any credit or anything for it. Them still in the closeout of the museum was like,
I died.
I was like, oh my gosh.
So good.
And then the guy running up to them at the end, like, listen, I want to join your house after they lost. And he's like,
I don't know if I trust him. Here I go.
Why?
I don't know. I could see somebody. I could see that other one saying, look, I need to know what's going on in there, what her plan is. She took all my ideas. So I need you to get in there, and anything she's plotting on, you're going to bring it back to me, and we're going to do it first. I can still see it.
That's true.
Because Blanca was the one, I mean, we saw it in the opening scene. We should do royalty. Oh, that's so played.
Where we're going to go to Burger King and get crowns.
But you know what we should do? Royalty.
Yes, mother. Yeah. I was cracking up.
So she's gonna need somebody to feed her information to get some good ideas. And now that Blanca challenged, they didn't win, so they're gonna be in prep mode. Really, like, we gotta get stronger. We gotta do what we gotta do. So you know what that means? We need practice. We need to do this plot plan, and then it's gonna be like.
What did you think about the dance scene where he was trying out at the school?
Real talk?
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't impressed. I didn't think he was going to get in.
I didn't think that the dancing was all of that, but I know people were saying, like, the scene went on too long. Like, it was a full song dancing and everything. And I don't know, I just really liked it.
I liked it. When he got in, I was happy. But just on the performance, I was like, this lady is not going to let him in with these podunk Allentown, PA dances.
Yeah, I didn't think his dancing was all of that.
Which I thought it would have been a good story, too, to say, she says, look, he needs a little more polish, he needs a little more work, get him, and then he comes back in and, at the end of the season, tries out again, and it's a whole new performance, like levels above what he first did to get him in. I thought that would have worked too. But I mean, we'll see. Because I thought it was interesting because I didn't catch up fully on My House, but it made me think of the guy doing his modern day dance class and talking about how he wasn't, because his body was so petite and all of this and stuff, like he wasn't looked at as a masculine partner in dance. And so he's taking these classes to build up his strength. And then we saw him doing his interpretive dance. And I was like, oh, that's such a cute little tie-in.
I just love this show. I loved it. I loved every part. The thing with the AIDS and everything, I guess that now, and I hate to say it, but in the words, I'll just say that the guy from Shameless categorized it this way. That it's like a common cold now, like, because it's so many drugs, it's not a death sentence. And I think that now, for some of us who were around during that era, we know, and I don't want to say like we were even really around to know it to that effect, right. Because you heard about AIDS, and then it was like, oh, it killed gay people, and that was it. Then it was like, well, in my lifetime, then it was like, okay, well, Magic got it. And then it was like, Magic never died. Mm-hmm. And that was the story of the AIDS experience in my lifetime. Right. Because it was like, it was something only gay people got. And then it was, Magic got it, and now it's not a death sentence. So this part where it was all of these people just dying and dying and dying, and what that felt like to know that you're going to die from this. There's no chance you will live. I think that is an interesting story to tell now. Because it's hard to get people to care about stuff that before, when we were younger, it was AIDS this, AIDS awareness, AIDS. And now, shit, you would have to do not even Google search, a Bing search to find an organization to donate for AIDS research. Like, it's just not the big thing anymore.
Yeah, I guess in America. I'll say in America. Because
well, I'm only in America.
Bono still does his red, and that benefits aid medicine for people who can't get it. And even during polls, they did commercials for
about tested.
Because now it's not a death sentence, but for so many people now, the problem is just going and finding out. So many people are now of the mindset of they don't care, they don't even think about, don't want to know their status. So I think, you know what medicine to take once you're brave enough to walk into a Planned Parenthood or something and just get the rapid test. So I think that, and for a lot of people, if you're not showing symptoms and stuff, you could be walking around just, like a bullet in a chamber, taking out motherfuckers one after one, and then you find out that you're a carrier. So it's a double-edged sword, because yes, it's good that it doesn't have the stigma it had. I remember growing up, people didn't want to use pens that someone with HIV used. Now you don't have that stigma, but now is it too lackadaisical?
I think that's what I guess that was the point that I was trying to make, is that now it's just not a big deal anymore. And that's why I say, like, it's not on, well, and that's another thing is that's going to be an issue, is that because Pose would be a gay show. It's a LGBTQ ROC show. There's no doubt about that. And that the commercials are being played during this type of show. And which is, again, kind of getting back to that old way that this is something for gay people. It's not an issue for regular people. While we don't know if Magic Johnson engaged in homosexual activity or not, he swears, well, he doesn't swear, he said that he didn't, but we saw kids being born with this and that. It just hasn't been like a big deal. It's just like, whatever. And to kind of go back to that time in the show, like, you kids think it wasn't a big deal, but this is what led up to that. Without all of this, you would never get to the point where, remember, they used to say, like, Magic Johnson got magic pills. He got his blood boiled and then put back into his body. You would have never got to that point where now, yes, you can live with it and it's not a big thing, and you don't need to worry about dying immediately. And we have Blanca, who is HIV positive, and which pushes her to start her own house, because she's like, okay, I'm going to die soon. This is how this works. And
I guess maybe that goes to the story too of why I have the quote unquote straight guy there, because a lot of times that's how it was spread. And to this day, some people aren't comfortable with what their true sexuality is and living these double lives. And this guy's out here. Okay, we see him with Blanca, and it seems kind of innocent now.
Not with Blanca.
No, not Blanca. Angel? Was it?
I don't know what these.
Right.
Girl, do we ever have anybody named down?
Her stomach was fantastic, though. Her stomach was so flat.
Now, are these real trans? Because I know Blanca is.
Blanca is the one that was the
House of Abundance.
The one who is with her Angel. I want to call her Angel. She is. It's about 5 that I can say. Laverne Cox put a picture up on her Instagram, identifying all as trans. So
I was wondering that. I was like, I wonder how many are or how many not. And then I think another interesting story that was being told is this fascination with white people and passing and getting into the culture. Because you heard the mother of House of Abundance say, I can go into any store down on Fifth Avenue and get treated just like a white woman. And it was what is this? And then we heard them say it several times at the ball, like, oh, Caucasian or white. And it's like, what's this fascination with that community and being white? Is it because they're not accepted anywhere that they feel like, well, if I was white, I would be accepted, and that's their thing? I don't know, but it kind of got me like, oh, what is that about this whole white thing?
I wonder if they, I don't know, it'll be interesting to see how they portray it, because I mean, we know our community, Hispanic community, I think to a degree, it wasn't accepted. And we see Blanca tries to go to see her sister, and she tells the family, oh no, they told dead.
Yeah, I was
my
like,
brother is dead. I don't know who this is before me. So maybe in the respect of being white, was it more accepted? I can't speak to that community because we didn't come up in it, but so that's what I wonder. Like, was being true to yourself at that point a little more accepted, whereas you couldn't go to Harlem, Spanish Harlem, and go home to your family dressed as trans and be accepted?
I don't know. This is gonna be good, and I would like to see what, because we see that some of them escort, which I knew that was a big thing. And then it was another show that I used to watch, and what they would do is like boosting, stealing, and things like that. Like, what do they do for work? And I think we saw a little bit of it this week, where someone goes to apply for the job, and when they get there, they're like, they're like, oh, we're not hiring. And it's like,
Blanca is a nail tech.
Yes. Yeah. So, well, that's what I didn't see that the first time, but the second time I watched it, I was like, oh, I'm so happy I watched it again. Now I need to watch it a third time. But I would like to go more into that, to see like, what did they do, and for them to show like, look, not that we chose the escort, but these are the options available to us. Right. Yeah, and so it's either be homeless, sleeping on a bench, or you do this. And we saw that the dancer guy was kind of faced with that when the guy comes to him after he gets his bag stolen, and he told him, I told you, sleep with it on your bag, and he didn't. And it's so funny that this is Central Park. Yeah. Now, could you imagine?
Not even.
Exactly. So it's like, and then he tells him like, well, you can always go down to the Piers.
See, I assumed he was a pimp. He wasn't. He was trying to get him to, oh, I'll take you down to the Piers, and you're going to give me 50% of what you earn. That's what I assumed.
I thought he was a drug dealer or something like that. I did think that he was
nefarious either way.
Yeah, he was like a street guy. He wasn't like no civilian just passing through. He was a street guy. I didn't take that he was trying to pimp him out. I think he was just like, look, these are your options now. Like, these are the facts of how this works. Yeah. And I like that Blanca kind of, like, she went to him and he was like, no, I'm okay. And then when he got stuck, it was like, okay, now I need to go. And I would like to see how the other houses and how it's dealt with in other places. Like, are you welcomed and not forced to do something you don't want to do, or are you welcomed and then it's like, okay, but you need to earn, so you need to escort, you need to steal, you need to do this, you need to do that. Like, I would like for them to go all into these things, but girl, they had me. I was just like,
and I think even,
what else?
Like
what
you were saying, like with kids who don't know like about HIV, they also don't know LGBT elemental P. Like the rejection, because when the porn is found in his room, and his dad starts beating him with a belt, and the mom like kicks him out. Like, a lot of kids don't get that reaction now if they're coming out. It's celebrated. It's like dad is like writing you the letter. Like, if you're that, it's okay with me. We see it all the time on social media. So I'm like, even seeing that may also take the avenue of, there was a lot of ways paved, because it was.
I think I think that definitely was one of the things on this episode that we saw, and I'm sure they're going to go into the backstory of more of them, that, these kids didn't choose to live on the street. These kids didn't choose. It was like they were abandoned by their family altogether, and then this is why it's this family, mother, father, because you have nobody else.
Because didn't they even say that, like, this is the family you get to choose? Yeah. So I mean, I'm in. Ryan Murphy got me.
Yeah, I'm in.
Ryan Murphy must be him and this guy, the one playing the straight guy, because you know that's the guy that's in. Well, no, you don't know because you don't watch scary stuff. But he's been in all the American horrors every season.
No, I never
so I'm
saw
like,
it.
he must be like Ryan Murphy's muse because he puts him in
Everything.
show. Yes.
Nope, nope. But I'm here, and I told you, if they would let me watch the new episodes at least an hour in advance, I would pay them the $5 every month. I only need 1 hour. Whatever it is, I will pay y'all. Y'all deserve my money. I would give it to y'all for that show. That was excellent. That was a pilot that told enough of a backstory, gave you enough of the regular story, and let you know what you can expect, that you were there without seeing another episode. I don't think Cloak and Dagger did it. I don't think Dietland, because if they had only gave us one episode, we would be sitting here talking about how there's skips. This one, I mean, for the one episode, and I'm like, yeah, me here.
I'm there.
Me here. Me here.
Did
All right.
Watch, Queen Sugar this week?
No, I didn't watch Queen Sugar.
Okay.
I did not watch. I was trying to watch it last night, but I fell asleep.
I'm interested in you watching because you read the book, and apparently this is the way they're gonna go now, where Nova is, I guess, kind of gonna be portraying the author and maybe how she came to.
Write the book. Oh, that would be really good.
You know, she's pitched the book story, blah 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 blah. So through a turn of events, the original story for the book can't be done. So the author, the publishing house tells her, well, look, come back to us in a week with some ideas. I know you have a million ideas. And she's sitting there like, uh-huh.
And I have none,
absolutely no idea.
Other than how my sister took over this thing.
And so then in talking with Micah, conversation, he says to her, you know, I wish mom was more like you. You always want to get our stories out there and da-da-da-da. And epiphany, and you see her start doing the post-its of borderloans versus this slave owner.
Oh, okay.
So I'm like, okay, I see where I'm connecting this to the author's story and maybe how she came to write this book. So now I'm really interested to see how authentic they may take it with her story. So
I didn't watch this one because guess what I was doing? Wasting my life on that damn dumbass basketball game. Just totally wasting my fucking life. What a waste.
Yeah.
That was just a waste. Like, y'all should have let another team win. Like, look, when we get to the championship, we just gonna not play. So, y'all want this, y'all want a shot at it or what? Okay. JR, give me 4 bottles of Hennessy.
Somebody was like, the Warriors is celebrating like they just won a taco. It was like they are so bored. It was like,
well, I think that the thing is that if you're not home, it's kind of hard to have that, and that's why I always hate when they win and they're not home. I would rather you win at home because then the ticker tape would have came and everything, and then your family's there.
They didn't even give them these last two games.
It was just like, I know. I was like, wait, what? I'm like, y'all understand this is win or go home.
They're like, well, we already home. So
yeah. I think that we could just relax. Yeah, no problem. So I think that's why the celebration is kind of muted because it's like, can we really turn up here? They'll probably start throwing cups of beers. Like, we congratulate each other. Right. Maybe only Draymond Green, he would be the one to be like, fuck that. Turn the music up. Like, Dick Kicker don't care. But everybody else is like, okay, let's not do this. And when we get back home, we'll Dick Kicker. But I didn't, so yeah, I was wasting my life watching that.
What about Handmaid? Did you?
Hell yeah, I watched that. I watched it every freaking week. Let me tell you what's seen. Him whooping that wife.
Girl.
I was like, and then him making June stay to see it. Like, okay, you see what goes on here, right? So.
Oh, y'all thought it was fun and games. Y'all thought we was gonna have a little, threesome, and it was gonna be all good, and y'all was gonna be able to run amok, sign my name, this shit.
Yeah, and it was like, I thought that him whipping her in front of was also kind of a double thing. It was like to show her, like, look, you don't need to be concerned about her, because this what the fuck will happen. So,
Definitely.
and make sure you're not aligning yourself and your loyalty with her, because
She has
this is
no
what the fuck will happen.
Exactly.
So if you're concerned about anything we're doing or anything I promise you and that she's gonna do, don't worry about it. Look at what will happen. If you think you're gonna go with her against me, look what the fuck will happen. And it was just like all of that was being said without saying anything. And it made me kind of interested to see what's going to happen when they go to Canada, because now, even though she knows these are the rules, this is how it's supposed to be or whatever, they never kind of abided by it. And now that it's happening, and it seems like Fred has more power than before,
Yeah.
is she going to go to Canada and kind of say, like, yeah, this is full of shit?
I'm staying here.
Yeah, like, our way is full of shit, because they're right. That is what happened. Because a guy like, listen, I want to tell you a story. So she could actually tell a story and not tell them it's coming from me, but I'm sure they'll put it all together. Like, bitch, it had to be you.
Yeah.
But what did you think? So the thing about the doctor, I was like, oh, we were kind of wrong on that one. We were way off.
Well, we knew that they would have to do something they didn't want to. I thought it was going to be technology. It actually ended up being, just letting a woman do what she is trained to do.
I know.
Oh, gee, the horror. But yeah, so we were wrong in that respect. But
and then we saw where the guy he was like, oh my God, he was like, and then my mentor, you trained him, and then she looking at him like, fuck her. You see what I got to do for a living now? You see what the fuck I am? I don't want to hear that shit.
I don't want to talk about it.
But I thought she was gonna come in there and like, whatever, fuck this baby or whatever, right. And in every movement it was like, oh my God, reminding her more and more. And I think that this is going to lead that rebellion that we see coming, because now y'all stripped them away from what they did. They got used to that, and now they're starting to introduce little parts of what they were and reminding them, this is what you were. This is what you were. This is what you were. And now it's going to be like, yeah, I was that. Why the fuck am I this now? It's time. We saw I was going to call her the dyke, but that's not right. From the unwoman, and she like, fuck them. She still.
Oh God, and the crazy one. So what do you think about the thing with the baby?
I knew that was going to happen, and let me tell you how I knew that was going to happen, because, and it makes no entire sense at all, but there is this thing where you do the skin to skin and you touch and this and that, and it's like, and they can't even explain it. It should not work scientifically. It makes no fucking sense. But I've heard stories, and even when you have the baby, now some hospitals are mandating that you must do it for at least 20 minutes. You have to put the baby on you, skin to skin.
Mother and father.
Well, no, they don't make you do the father. Sometimes the father just, he can, or as an option, because they have done the research and they like, it's something about that, especially if you have a premature baby, it's definitely going to happen, because the research proves that helps them, and they can't explain. Hold on. Okay, so we back on. So I knew that was going to be the thing. I was like, watch that, if they would let her get closer, and we saw her go in there or something with the baby, and I thought the doctor was going to say, like, you should let the handmaid kind of get next to her, and I was like, watch, this is going to be the thing that only she would be able to get the baby back, and then they're going to have to bring her back into their home, and it's like, how is this going to work?
How are they going to do that?
But once I saw the dress on the thing, I was like, I knew it. I was like, I knew that was going to happen. Now, did I think they would all be in that room like that and that would be the way? I didn't think that.
I'm thinking, like, y'all are so anal about things, but then everybody goes to sleep and just leaves her there with the baby after y'all were so concerned about what she tried to do.
Well, I thought I didn't take it that way, because I thought they basically figured the baby's dead anyway. Okay. So, like, what's she gonna do? The baby fucking dead. Right. And I was like, oh, I knew that was gonna happen. But now it's like, well, what do you do?
Their whole mindset.
Yeah, because is the mother gonna be like, you know what? I can't trust my husband in the house with her, but I want my baby so bad. So husband, you gotta go, or do I just put up with you fucking a handmaid? What do, like, it's gonna be a decision she has to make now, or what to do. But that was so crazy. Them sneaking the doctor in, and sneaking her back out,
and then whatchamacallit, I just don't, that beating, and then her asking her, I knew something was coming when she was asking her, like, do you miss, working? Do you miss those things?
And then that bitch said,
yep,
I despise knitting.
Well,
I said, you fucking cunt. That's why I hate you. I was like, that bitch. How could you despise knitting?
Oh, God.
But it seems like
all they're letting you do. I can see it.
Listen, they could just let me knit shit. I'll be happy. But I think that we kind of, it seems like how we say with all things, that it starts off and the intention is this, but then it goes left. Yeah, and you're like, okay, yes, I did mean these things, but I didn't see it going this way.
Right.
And now that
especially
it is,
with her having been much of the instigator of it. Like, you were the face. He was the behind the scenes guy. You were the face of this initial movement of women not having children and birth rates lowered and da da da. And it's going totally left for you.
Yeah, well, and she said that because he's like, well, you know the law. And she was like, I know, I wrote them. Like, you had to turn over this power to him. And it seems like initially you were okay. And now, I mean, because we don't know what the time frame is from when it started to now. Right. But we all assume that it's not long. Yeah. We saw one child be born since that time. And nobody seems, it just doesn't seem that it has been that long. Right. So I don't know, that maybe she like, oh yeah, maybe we need to do something different here. Like, this is kind of
I'll be interested to go to Canada now next week, because
I don't see what the purpose of them going to Canada, like, what are, I don't understand, because Canada knows what they're doing. Are they trying to convince Canada that this is okay? Or are they recruiting them to give us back our Americans so we could do this to them? I don't know. Like,
or is it, I mean, I can't think of an export that, we only get from Canada, because I'm like, it wouldn't be like a trade thing. So I don't know.
But a trade for what?
I don't know.
Because the fucking Canadians got some of the handmaids. Like, shit, if that's a problem, y'all can start making babies.
Like, is there a product that Gilead is not able to get because Canada maybe is not trading with them because of this or something? And they're going up there to negotiate that? Mm-hmm. It's got to be, it's either people or a thing. It's not just, hey, we want you to feel good about what we're doing.
Well, so you will stop taking our people in and everything, because if they
back at the border,
okay, exactly, like how now and
send us the ones you already got.
Yeah, like you can't just commit a crime, well, certain crimes or whatever, but depend on the penalty. But you can't commit a crime and then run to Canada and they just say, okay, we're not going to send you back. Right. And maybe they're going for that purpose. Like, look, y'all need to cut this shit out. Yeah. These are our laws. They're happy down here. Come, look, we rate them once a month. They happy with this rate. Like, what the fuck is, like, what are y'all doing? What's the problem? Yeah. You don't think they're happy? Come and see them. Look, we're going to parade them around.
You won't let your glass back either.
So all we ask is that when they come to you saying they being raped, beaten, tortured, abused, just turn them back around. It's not that complicated.
No entry.
Because that's the only thing I could think that they want to do is, like, we can't keep having people leave, but even think about leaving, because you can go to Canada. So if you know that that's not an option, then we can maintain our control down here. But if that's always an option, we're always going to have people trying to escape. We already got Mexico down with us. So really, where are you going to go? If you can't go to Mexico, you can't go to Canada. Where are you going?
Do you think, in the wake of the violence that already happened in Gilead, do you think some someone's gonna try to murder the commander.
Why he's in Canada?
Yeah.
I would hope it's June's husband.
I was just about to say.
He need to fucking do something.
We know that our girl knows him.
Mm-hmm.
So when they see him in Canada and she tells the husband, that's where June is.
So maybe that would be it, and then he'll get killed trying to kill him.
Yeah. I would like to see that happen.
I need him to do something because he ain't doing anything and it's just driving me crazy. But yeah, I would like to see that. What else did we have this episode other than the baby? We had what's her name found the letters.
Oh, yeah,
Nick's wife
allegedly didn't read them.
But now I wanted to know, because she did say, like, no, of course I wouldn't read them. You know, I can't read. That is forbidden. And I was like, well, can she read? And because she's like 15, it seems like at most it's been going on a year or two. She would have been of reading age by then. Right. So she can technically read. Right. It's just illegal for her to read. So I'm like,
oh no, she totally read those letters.
Did she read them or?
She totally read those letters. I do.
Really?
I believe she totally read them. What are you doing?
I don't know. He stink. You stink. But I don't know, because I was like, it seemed like she would be the one to go along and not actually read them, right, because she's so conditioned. But I'm like, I don't know.
I don't know if I believe that, because
or is she going to hold it over him, and then one time when she, like, he goes to say something or does something that she doesn't want, she going to be like, well, you know, I can always tell them about the letters I saw in what's her name. Right. I don't know. I'm like, something's up with it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I totally believe she read the letters. I totally believe she is not totally on. Well, we know she's not on Offred's side. She wants to emulate Serena. So I don't know if she thinks maybe Serena would be open to hearing some shenanigans, but Serena gonna be like, "Bitch, that's my baby."
Yeah, and I'm getting my ass whooped. I ain't got time.
So now I ain't got time. Have you killed? So you don't go messing up the baby
Nick,
situation.
Look, she gonna be like, Nick.
Handle it. So.
What can you say she did? I don't know. It was just like weird. And then what else did we get? That was pretty much.
That was all I could think of. Yeah. Yeah. What about Billions? That damn Billions.
Oh my God, I didn't watch Billions.
You didn't watch it? Oh my God, it was so good.
I gotta watch it, so I'm gonna get caught up because I was going to watch it. What's wrong?
Do you need to go out?
Alright, we're back.
Okay, so you skipped Billions.
I did. Not intentionally.
It's okay. It happens. What about Westworld?
I watch that every week faithfully. Finally, we are getting somewhere with information on Westworld.
Okay, you explain to me.
Oh, you didn't get?
I'm still so confused.
Oh my God, because he did. So he's the one. Clarice is making everybody go crazy. The androids, he's making all of the hosts go crazy or whatever, because he's like, so what? They want to kick me out now. Y'all won't have shit. And I really don't care. And that Dolores is like really the only rogue one, because that's the one that her partner created before. Okay. And that Bernard, thinking that he lived there, is actually the partner who lived there and had his family there.
Okay.
And then he created Bernard to kind of go over the fact that he killed the partner. Okay. So Bernard is his replica of his partner or whatever.
But because now, how is he getting Bernard? So is he in control of Bernard now, though?
It seemed like he's always been.
Because when Bernard started shooting and he was like, don't make me do this. Just close your eyes. And I'm like, and then you saw it was like Arnold was the one up there shooting. So it was like, does he take over Bernard to do the things? Like when he killed the woman last season and all that stuff?
It seemed like he was, I took it that he's in control of Bernard because he actually created Bernard. Where Bernard, and we all thought that Arnold or whoever his partner was, because I keep calling one Clarice. Is Clarice Arnold?
Arnold is
the one that we
Clarice.
never see.
No, I thought Arnold is Clarice.
Oh, okay, that is his name?
Yeah.
Okay, so we need a diagram.
I don't remember.
Clarice.
Too much.
But I always thought that his partner created Bernard.
Okay.
And he's like, no, I basically created you.
Right.
And I've been controlling you this entire time. And it seems like I said, like Dolores or whatever her name is, Doris, that she's the only one who's not being controlled by him. And when she's always saying like, because we saw it one time where Bernard was like, well, do you hear it? Are you following it? Whatever. And she's hearing voices, and that's Arnold. Okay. Because she is the only true one that's not controlled by Clarice. Okay. Everybody else, where we thought Arnold was somehow doing something, he's not in control. Clarice is in control. Okay. Of everybody. Okay. And of course, the whole thing was to get the information. But we saw the guy in black. That's how he got his father-in-law to invest in it. Was right. That, look, you can see what people are doing when they think no one's watching. So then you'll know how to market to them and what they're looking for. Right. And that was really the premise behind everything. And also then the secret thing was to try to get people to live forever. Right. By putting them in these androids and the right. different things. Right. So... No, I still was confused.
It's not that I'm confused. It's just like.
And we saw Dandy got murked out.
I don't know. Yeah, poor Dandy. I felt bad for her.
Yeah.
But Dolores found her? Did Dolores?
No, she was dying anyway, and Dolores went over there and talked to her and told her like all of this, and then just left her there.
Just left her there.
Yeah, okay. To die.
But then didn't that other guy come and save her and tell her we need her? Or was that before Dolores?
I think that was before they shot, because when they arrived at the place, she's hurt and he's like throwing. They like, fuck that. We only care about the. And he's like, no, we need her. Right. Okay. And they're like, what's the name? Only thing I guess I would kind of think is that it's clear that this is almost over. And I'm like, well, where are you going to go for next season? Yeah. I don't see the interest being there much longer. I mean. Yeah.
See, and the other show, one of my picks from last week that I don't remember if I talked about it, Humans, that mm-hmm. came back this week too. And I don't know why, for some reason, like what they're doing with androids becoming aware and da-da-da. It's just done so much more clearly. I don't know if it's the BBC again, but...
Well, you know them people. They be like, we don't got time for all these games.
Yeah, it's just so much more clear and able to follow. Even with now, they're introducing androids that are awake, for lack of a better word, and androids that are still under control of humans. They give you how you can tell the difference, just as simple as their eye color. And it's like, I don't know, it's just so much more.
So is that the dumbed down version? Look, androids for dummies.
Yeah, because sometimes when I watch Westworld, I feel like I'm not smart enough for this show sometimes.
I think that one, Westworld, is, like I always say, it's just a show that you need to binge. And then if you're not going to, especially like for the purpose of talking about it at a later date, you definitely need to take notes, because it's so many different little things.
Was there anything else in this episode besides that? We realized what happened with William this episode? Is William dead? No. We left him sitting there.
Yeah.
They took Tanner Newton. But we didn't see him this episode at all, right?
No, I don't believe we saw him at all this episode.
So who knows where the hell he done dragged himself off to.
I know.
He's still trying to get to the beyond or whatever. So.
And I just can't. I don't know what the beyond is about. I just don't know what it's supposed to be about. This game that he's still in, that nobody else is in with him.
Let's talk about Real Housewives of New York.
Oh my God.
So we finally get the arrest.
Houdini.
Tinsley feeling all, bad because she's like, I was only charged with misdemeanors. These are like 4 serious felonies.
What do you think? We saw, and Luann finally came back, and it's like, okay, at least you of your right mind, and now you're admitting it, because everybody kept saying, why are you going there and he's going to be there, and you wanted to make it seem like it was just a coincidence and that nothing was happening, like you didn't know.
Going to these places that have emotional ties to y'all's relationship, and you don't see nothing wrong with that. You really did not think it would trigger anything.
I was like, well, and then when she's doing her confessional, she looks a little better, and she's like, I went to the hotel where I had my bridal shower, I went to this, I went to that, I went to that. And maybe I think that and I said it last week when Bethany made the comment, I think that for us, and including the people on the show, that everybody's like, listen, we knew what this was. It was nothing. We thought you were in on it, but you needed a new sponsor. We were trying to tell you. Mm-hmm. It seemed like she really thought this was a relationship.
Yeah. But I
and that maybe
that... in a lot of things.
And that maybe when she went down there and saw him, that he would kind of, like, they could get a chance to talk or do something. And then, but Bethany already told her, like, he moved on. He has somebody else. And I think that when she actually gets down there and sees that this is true, he is spending his holiday on this yacht with this girl, it was too much. Yeah. I just think that she really, because... I mean, what other reason would you have to go to the town to do all of these things, to do it, other than you thought that when you got
straight to Chile?
Yeah, like when you thought when you got down there, like you would be able to talk to him and maybe y'all could rekindle or something, and it didn't happen.
Yeah. I don't know what she was. It was just too much, and it was a bit much too for me to sit there and listen to Dorinda, who we've seen drunker than a skunk, making very poor choices, lecturing her about maybe this is what you needed. And I'm just sitting there like,
and what did you need, Dorinda?
To go off on Bethany beforehand and still get on the plane is that what you needed? I was like, and I mean, I know as a friend maybe she was just trying to be supportive in that moment, but it was like pot, kettle. Have y'all met at all? Mm-hmm. So I wasn't a fan of that. I don't know. This whole Tinsley still trying to make amends with Sonia.
But I like what she did. You know what? Because this is what who was it? And I was like, look, if you're gonna do something and try to be shady and try to be you gotta go all out with it.
Well, that's what she did.
And she served. I mean, it was like, I forgot who owed money or who was doing something. And I was like, no, you should have did this and this, like, to make it. She did it. She was like, oh, yeah, of course you could come and stay with me. And guess what the rules are? Everything she told her, and she made a point of everything you said that I couldn't do, you can do here. Mm-hmm. Then she like, but for tonight, I want to show you your place because you're not going to be staying here. I have you the whole penthouse. Right. Then it was the Louis Vuitton bag. Then it was full of gold slippers and this and that. And it was like...
And especially for somebody like Sonia, who's all about the material. She was...
And it was more like... Now, bitch, do you see the difference between you letting me stay at your ran down townhouse with you acting like a bitch, and this, stop making it seem like I didn't have anything and you saved me from being homeless. Like, that's not what it was. Yeah. So you see?
And you gonna be in this penthouse not worried about who paying for it either.
Exactly. So now you got it. We good on that?
About it, never, no
exactly.
More.
Because it's nothing you can say now.
Shut somebody down.
Oh yeah.
Definitely shut her down. But I'm like, I hope this deads it. Like, I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to.
What could she say?
She can't.
Oh, Tinsley stayed at my townhouse for months, and she be like, and I put you up in a penthouse suite and bought you a bag.
And it's a penthouse hotel.
Yeah.
With every wish is your command. You can order whatever.
Which I ain't understand. What was the purpose of the kitchen when it was but whatever.
I guess in that maybe some people cook. Look, somebody gonna cook. Maybe it's for the maid to cook when she come.
Yeah. And I was like,
or maybe I know that they like it's kind of on Beverly Hills when they do like dinner parties. Maybe you want to have a chef come in.
Oh, that is true.
The dinner party.
But I was like, I just was like, yes, this is it, Tansy. I was like, no half-ass, like we gotta sleep in the same room. Nope. Cause then you could have went. Yeah, because then you could have came back and said, "Oh yeah, but I had to sleep on the couch and she was sleeping." No, what you gonna say? What? What?
Nope.
What?
It was good. I give it up.
I was like, yes, Tinsley, this how you
right.
do it. Oh my God, I was living in that moment. And she was like, but you're not gonna stay here. And then she had the bag stuffed with the stuff in it on the thing. And she like, oh, and that's a real Louis Vuitton.
Not that fake Louis that I got from that bitch that time on my yacht.
Yeah, she like, yeah, bitch, yeah. Like, let's knock this off. Like, I don't have money. Like, come on.
It was good. It was a good FU.
Mm-hmm.
Well, who said that? Thank you, FU. That was what that was.
That was definitely what that was. So, I was like, oh wow.
And I don't know though. Sonya, I swear to God, she's becoming more and more like Grey Gardens every day though. Because when they showed her in that room with the damn plastic up, and she spraying chloroseptic, and she doing this, and she's sniffing the seat of the underwear. Is these clean? Oh no, these are dirty. These are the clean ones.
If she don't knock it off,
girl, I was like, what the hell is up with her? She is crazy.
I can't take her because she is definitely like, she gotta get over this. Apparently, renting the townhouse is gonna net her $40,000-$50,000 a month. I hope she uses it to upgrade her townhouse and then move back in, because I don't want to hear about this townhouse that is ran down and everything else. And not that that's a problem, because I mean, it happens. A lot of people, you own a home. You own this home outright. Your husband, you got this in a divorce. You don't have to pay mortgage. You don't have to pay anything. Why can't you at least fix the bathroom? Like, it's just like.
And when she was, no, that was last week. When she was telling the guy, yeah, and the sink in the basement, I had sex on that in 2008, and it ain't been right ever since. Yeah,
it just was like stuff like that. It was like, girl, like, get this shit together. Yeah. And she's right. I wouldn't sell it either. What's the point? What's the reason? When you could, if you could get $40,000, $50,000 a month, why would you sell it?
No.
I would leave it, and
truth be told,
I'll find me another apartment.
You need to see what Tinsley's situation is, because your ass ain't never cooking. You don't know. A hotel would be perfect, and if that's
I don't think
month, yeah, and you making $40,000 a month. Get rid of them old ass bills you got or whatever. You got gravy. Yeah,
she need to get it together.
Yeah.
What did you think about Bethany and her and the Carol thing again? That we're never gonna get over
it. They not. It's not done. I know it's not done, but they gonna pretend it's done for a week. And I don't know. Carol just. Bethany seems so frantic. Carol seems so smug, but they both seem like they think they're right and the other one is wrong. So the whole hug at the end, even Carol said it. It was kind of a, this is not going anywhere.
Let's just stop. Yeah.
And hug it out. But is that genuine? Does that mean it's not going to come up again? No, of course not. It's Housewives. Of course it's going to come up again.
They just was driving me. I was like, oh my God. But this week wasn't, just wasn't all of that.
The most interesting thing was the Luann thing and Dorinda, and then Skinny Girl Jeans. We saw the launch party, and her and Dorinda still talking
Isn't this the dumb ass fucking name? If your brand is built on being all inclusive, then why would you name it Skinny Girl Jeans?
But everything is, I guess, Skinny Girl.
Well, Skinny Girl is the brand.
To be under that umbrella. It includes plus sizes.
That's what I'm saying. So what's the...
I couldn't find it on the web, so I couldn't see what their version of plus size is. That's what I'd really be interested in.
Well, probably like 8, 10. Yeah, around that number. Around that number. And because that's what the plus size models are.
I was going to say, they're not going to go too high because it's sold in the Gap, according to what I read. Gap don't cater to plus sizes.
Oh, they don't sell like 18, 24?
I don't think so. I
think they. I don't know.
Never been in there to know.
I was about to say, I don't know. I don't wear the size.
See no fat people in there. Let me put it like that, unless you're working. So, But it'll be.
I don't know. It just seems stupid to me because I'm like.
Well, that was always. I always used to hear this joke where they'd be like, "How can skinny jeans be plus size?" Period.
Well, that fit.
It's such a name, and I'm guessing that's where it keeps it the brand, but it's also the cut of the jean is going to be all. It look like they're all skinny jeans. They're like boyfriend skinny jeans. They all look like that same kind of slim fit.
Oh, so and that.
No, it's not gonna be like no boot cut. It ain't gonna be no.
That I just was like, yeah, they should have, or maybe they should have changed the logo for the plus size,
maybe,
or did something. It was just like you got the skinny ass bitch. They call skinny girl jeans.
I wouldn't think they'd have any in my size.
Why would I be interested in this? This is not representing me, like at all. Whatever. Did you watch Potomac?
They give me anxiety sometimes.
What did you think?
Robin. I hate this hair Robin is wearing in the confessional. Can we talk about that for a minute? This feathered thing that's a little too short and it looks like she been brushing it for 2 years.
I don't like anything about this girl.
And what was this facial that Giselle did? They took her own blood and then put it on her face.
I didn't pay attention.
It was disturbing, to say the least.
When I say I didn't pay any type of attention to her,
I understand it's your birthday. Get your teeth clean, dude. You know.
I just was like,
do a filler.
Whatever, girl.
What the hell is they doing with your blood? No, that was stupid.
Yeah, I just was like, whatever, girl.
And then was her reasoning. Well, you know, I'm the face of every hue. Was it every hue? Every hue beauty. And I'm like, but this ain't got nothing to do with makeup.
Girl,
this is not the same thing.
You gave her too much attention. So turns out Sherman was an ex-basketball player.
Who knew?
I know, and the way his size is,
the way he set up, the way his body.
Yeah, if he would have said football, I'd have been like, I see that.
The way his body set up.
But basketball,
I don't know. But so him and Giselle have broken up. That's what we get by the end of the show. He wasn't around for her birthday. He didn't send anything.
But she said like, well, because it started that she was in People magazine and said that she was dating him. And I'm like, well, that really couldn't be it because you said it on Bravo, or maybe in People magazine she said I'm dating Sherman XYZ from what are they called now? The Wizards, but they used to be the Bullets.
Like she put his whole bio out.
Yeah, like to say all of that, and then they were able to connect him and got a picture or something, and like, oh, this is the guy and who he used to be. Because even now, until Juan said, I can't believe he did that. I used to play with that. He my boy, this and that. I didn't know who the fuck. I didn't know what he do or anything, and didn't care, honestly.
I'm wondering though, because there's supposed to be another girl that's going to be introduced. Mm-hmm. That's his ex-wife.
Yes, and she says,
you think that's the? If I was Sherman, the bitch I'm dating and my ex gonna be on the shit. No, I'm out. I don't
and that may have been it also that he got wind that okay, they're kind of approaching my ex-wife to come on the show, so I know where this is going. That they're gonna want drama between her and what's the name, and I'm not for this out. Yeah, like I'm not for this. And Giselle probably was like, okay, what
he
day?
Done it better.
Look, she probably was like, what day is she gonna come? Yeah, I need to fund my lifestyle because my gay ass ex-husband. I mean,
we need to take this break up. So, are you free Wednesday?
Yeah, I think that may have played a part. Like, I was okay being on here with you. I really wasn't okay, but you talked me into it, so I did it. But now y'all want to bring on my ex-wife and go through me cheating and it exactly.
Our current laundry.
I'm not here for it. So now you're on your own, and maybe he talked to her about it and said like, listen, I'm not. No, and if you want to do that, then that's fine. I'm out because it just seemed real messy that now the ex-wife is coming on and she's going to talk about him cheating and what was going on, and it was like,
if I was dude, I'd be like, no. I'm not at the point in my life where I need a check.
And he not getting a check.
I was getting ready to say, I'm not getting a check. It don't lessen the money I gotta pay her, my ex. So no, I'm out. I don't need it.
And I think, honestly, I really think that's what kind of may have happened because, um, like Cherie said, she knew her all the time, because her husband was coaching the team, so she knew her. We never saw her before, or even if she would have been there in passing, and they would have kind of panned over and say that's his ex-wife, and then went back. But now she's mic'd up.
Exactly.
It's like, yeah,
You getting a whole damn. What do they hold? Damn, I don't even know what they hold. Whatever. Nah, I ain't here.
What did you think about Miss Karen trying to say that she meant to not RSVP to Robin thing, but Siri did it?
I tried it. It doesn't work, Karen.
I was like, Karen, you so full of shit.
Does not come off as yes to Siri.
I was like, she is so full of shit.
She good. She good for a lie. Lord have mercy. She good, and she will sell it and believe it. Because when the man said, "Let's try it," no, I will not.
Exactly.
I will not.
I was like, Miss Karen, knock it the fuck off. You know what happened? Robin and Monique having a thing on the same day. You like, money's gonna be at Monique's. Bummy's gonna be at Robin. Let me go to Monique and see what connections I can get.
And I mean, okay, granted, yes, it's the same day. It's technically not Monique's event. It's an event she was invited to speak at. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So she's giving an award. She is not, presented by Monique,
mm-hmm.
Executive produced by Monique, starring Monique. Like, Robin, this is her thing. You planned it from the beginning. Your invitation should have been out 2-3 months ago like theirs was. You probably ain't had the money to make sure it was going to be pulled off.
She like,
so now let's talk
the night, look, hold on. The night before, sending out text. Okay, the deposit clear. I mean, everything's, we're having it. We're having it. Just come. Just come.
So I'm like, you can't hold Monique responsible for the organization holding the event when they choose to hold it. Yeah, she's was asked to come present. I'm inviting my girls who's free. But
and I think that another thing though, I was like, I don't understand what's the big deal. Like, if you wanted to do both, couldn't you just go, be there, eat dinner, whatever, and then go to Robin's event? Because Robin's event doesn't seem like it's going to be a sit down dinner or anything. It seemed like it's going to be like a little mixer, and you could pop in and be out.
In my mind, Robin's event is more like a day party kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe at 3-4 o'clock, and then you have your time to freshen up, change into your little gown.
Oh, I didn't take it. That was going to be that time. I thought it was going to be like a night.
It's going to be a nighttime event. Like the way she's saying, you having all of these speakers, empowerment, blah blah blah. I'm like, oh, okay, it's like an Essence Fest. It's over at 3 o'clock, so you can really party in the night.
Like
no.
It's
not all night. So it'll be interesting to see though, because Monique and Sharice, apparently that's going to be the rift too with this Sherman's ex-wife thing, because Monique invites her and Sharice is like, well, I've been friends with her for this long, and they're like, oh, she's trying to take your shine and your friends.
And Sharice is dumb for getting into that, because it's clear what Monique is doing. And you should have, if you're a Monique friend, you should have been like, you petty bitch. And then kind of laughed it off and moved on. Like, come on now.
Exactly.
Like, these grown ass women.
What did you think about? What I did want to talk about is Ashley and this prenup.
You know what I thought about that. Just like she said, I know everybody's thinking that that's why I went back. Yeah, bitch. Yeah. Because she literally said, and then when he comes in and like, oh, we need to redo the prenup because now you're back, and so that means you get half after this 3-year mark, and I'm not feeling that shit. So we gonna redo this or what? And you kind of putting up some resistance is kind of making it really clear.
Because initially when she was out on the terrace doing yoga, she making it seem like this is her benevolence as queen. Like, I am so glad to be home. I love my husband. And to show that, I want to talk to him about extending this. No, bitch. Tell it like it's broad. He came to you. He already had this shit drawn up. You ain't
Girl,
have to say
we
nothing.
need video in here so you can see the screw up face I got.
He said, we need to talk about that 6 months ain't going to count towards your 3 years. And if you want to make good and still have that same thing intact, you need to re-up this marriage for another 2.5.
Exactly. Or I'm I'm gonna have to
this first offer and be gone.
Wait, no, or our attempt at reconciliation did not work, and you need to pack your stuff and leave, because
and
yeah,
she's really trying to secure the bag by when we gonna have this baby, because not only do I get half, but then I'll get spousal.
Yeah, oh, definitely. I think that she's like, okay, I'll re-up on this prenup as long as we're going to have a baby. Exactly, so that if it does happen, I can at least get paid.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, she's so full of shit. I'm like, girl, yeah.
I gotta say, though, now you know who's growing on me? Not so much Candace, but Candace's husband. Well,
what did he do?
But he was up there cooking, and then he was like talking and like shade the other girls when she was shading them, and then he tried on her wig. Like, I like a white boy with swag, I really do, and he seems like that.
What was the issue she was having with the mother and
Oh, I can tell you the issue I was having. How you on a hairline and your mama got that fucked up wig on? Her mother's wig was bad this week. It was bad. But they were talking about, apparently she wants to open a brick and mortar store, and the mother, of course, is just funding like she's a not so silent partner in
funding
the
it, sponsor,
not so silent partner there, and she probably wants to have a lot more hands on than her and the sister. That's her sister, right?
Yeah.
She goes to it, then they're comfortable with. She's like, oh, you know, we're grown, we can run it, and mom's like, ha 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 ha, that's cute. What I said was,
yeah, and if you just selling weave, first of all, that's just a waste of money, because most people they're buying it online. What would be the need for you just to have a store just to sell your hair? Like, it ain't even that serious.
Now the only thing, and I'm not a hair person, I'm not a hairista at all, but now if I was trying to become one, what would a business I'd be looking for is like a beauty bar. Like, you have people there who can look at me, pick one up, and you
match it and do everything.
Oh yeah. Show me installation and how to make, you know what I mean, like a beauty bar type of setup with that. Now, if that's what she's trying to do, I think that's a good look, because everybody can buy something online, but then they come there and then I gotta sift through 85 YouTube videos to show me how to do it. No, if there's somebody, a person, hands-on that can show me about glue and tape or whatever and all of that, I would like that, and I think that would be a good business venture for her.
Yeah, I just think she needs to get a job, honestly. Well, but anyway. I
mean, that's a no. That's a given.
I just think she needs to get a job.
Did you watch Black Ink?
Of course.
I love them.
Because I was watching.
They're so ratchet, but I love them.
Which, Ms. Rue, I don't know if it was just me, but RuPaul was so fucking boring. It was like hard to get through. So in between, I just stopped it and watched Black Ink, and then I came back, but I couldn't take it.
I wasn't a fan of the mini challenge. The mini challenge with the pancakes, I thought was dumb.
It was dumb, and it was like, and then he has to taste. What is he eating?
And I was getting ready to say, he has to taste it. The bite he tasted was all pancake. So what
was the point? It just was like, this episode was so bad and boring.
I thought the twin thing would come off really well,
but it came off dumb and boring. Yeah, RuPaul just sucked this week.
Like the way Ru was trying to sell it, like your saboteur, your I was like, okay, I like this. The worst things about yourself. Now the most interesting part is the fact that Aquaria put all them bitches on notice. This is not a game. I'm here to play. I'm here to slay all of you. And these bones represent each one of you bitches' dead carcasses that I will be dragging to the winning circle. Because that final outfit.
The mean one. Yes, that was really nice. The face.
It was like Predator, but like glam. And then the bones were clean. And you had the spine going down the back. And I didn't even get that it was ocelot versus leopard or whatever. I was just like, it's just left, right, whatever. It's bad. It was bad as hell.
I like that one, but it just was boring me to death. So I stopped to watch Black Ink Cruise Chicago, and then I was like, all right, then I'm gonna turn back because I was just so bored with it. No, Black Ink Cruise Chicago. First of all, let me tell you. Number one, why did we need a whole episode and a half for these idiots to come up with the idea of going to the property manager and say, can we lease the property?
We didn't even need a half an episode for me to tell them, he don't want y'all black asses to stay in there. Y'all keep fucking up the property.
Oh, I didn't think that he...
From the beginning.
Honestly, I didn't think that they were going to say no, because I'm like, yeah, what's the difference that if they were going to renew the lease with what's her name, then they would be renewing it with you anyway. Like, what's the difference unless they...
That's this he was going to.
And he's like, but they want to raise the rent to a crazy amount. And I'm like, yeah, that would be the other.
I all these bullet holes and mixies and people busting up shit in the parking lot. Yeah. I got windows that be broke. Come on now. The other tenants is complaining.
What other tenant? Didn't I tell you VH? But VH1 own the building.
I thought you meant the building they live in. Not
the filming. Oh. They own the building. So you just gotta go along with the storyline, though. Don't get too deep into it.
I don't think about that.
They own it. Okay. But anyway, yeah, I was like, why did it take him so long? I just was like, huh? Then Ford and his girlfriend, this was like the dumbest thing, and I'm like, it seemed.
Why are you wasting the captain?
Yeah, and it seemed fake.
Definitely.
Like, okay, and then throw something at him, and he's like, okay, I'll take that, and then act like this, and then it was like, girl, anybody want to record with this motherfucker? And he only 30. I thought he was like 36. Honestly, I'm being honest. I thought he was 36.
I was like, when they kept saying, "Oh man, London on the track," I was like, who is that baby sitting across from you?
London on the track.
He looked
young as fuck. And I think that I think that Ford lied about his age because of course people of a certain age, we don't go around saying how old are you, but younger people do, and it was like, okay, now I'm on the spot and I don't want to, like, what do I say? I don't want to say I'm a 36-year-old man trying to rap.
Struggling rapper.
Yeah, like, and then it was like so dumb. It was like, okay, yeah, of course you're gonna go to Los Angeles, like, you idiot. If he's gonna work with you for free, you're going to go. This girl could fly over on the weekends or do whatever. Like, what are we talking about?
Assuming you gonna be there that long, because you get there and he be like, nah, bro, you whack, go home.
Yeah, and then you tattoo. He like, but all my clientele and this and that. I understand that. So you book them on certain days. You fly back home and do it, and then you fucking build up clientele in LA.
I was gonna say, you go on your IG and say, oh, your boy Ford's coming to town. I got opening slots.
Shut up. I just was like, I can't. Dawn. Then the girlfriend. One thing I did learn from Black Ink Crew Chicago this week.
Tell it.
Abortions in Chicago only $130.
I knew that's what you was going to say. Whoa! The girl at work was talking, and I was like, wait a minute.
Only $130?
$130? What kind of bottom level scrape job is this? Oh my God.
Maybe he paid for the Plan Bs. I was about to say.
Get out my mouth. I was just about to say, maybe she just meant he sent her, but that's $50. So you wouldn't give $130 in the same time.
Well, you know, you boost up the price, but you got to boost up the price. You got to make a...
Don done got enough bitches pregnant to know he know how much a Plan B is. He know it ain't no $130.
No, he know that's the tax for you to shut the fuck up about it too.
Obviously it didn't work. But when this bitch said that I've been pregnant twice, I was just flabbergasted. I call me naive. I know it's fake, but I was sitting there like, oh my God, this is so real.
A girl. I was like, Ashley, just let this go.
I gotta give it to you, baby. Whoever is doing your hair,
the short wig was really nice.
Yes. When she was in there, and but I was like, oh Lord, y'all should have kept this on I'm gonna say the south side of Chicago, because I don't know what's good or bad, but it was too many white people in that tea shop.
Wait, why were they in a bookstore anyway? Y'all bitches don't read? Like, what the fuck? I was like, what is going on here?
Reading ain't never been fundamental for y'all. Why is y'all meeting in this library?
And what dumbass bookstore owner said, okay, sure, y'all can film here.
What's the name of your show?
Oh.
Black Lives Matter. Please come in.
You know what? That's probably why they had to do it there. Because these white people ain't never heard of this shit. They like, okay, you do reality TV on VH1? Oh, that's great. They used to play videos.
Drag Race?
Look, they used to play videos. Come on. Great.
Child,
they were looking like, the fuck? And then I didn't understand why she kept calling her a trap queen. I'm like, Don broke. So where is she at? No, like what?
She trapping.
Yeah. And what she?
Child, it was just too funny.
And then you had 2 kids with him and it wasn't enough to trap. Like,
what did that make you?
It just was like,
oh my God.
It just went wrong. And I understand what Ashley was saying. She was like, so you knew I was pregnant and everything and you were still messing with him. So it doesn't make you any better. It's not like he lied, which he could have lied to you and say what it was between us. But you can see TV. You can see Instagram. So now if you want to come here and act and apologize or do whatever, have this conversation, then you should do it and be real about it. And I like the girl, like, you know, I did. Like, okay, yeah, you fucked up. So why are we fighting? And what are we talking about now? Because, and I guess the girl thing was like, well, I'm pregnant and Don don't have $130 this time. So.
He ain't been doing no piercings. So I guess I'm keeping it.
So I just wanted to let you know that you're going to be having another baby to take care of.
That's so real. No, that's so real. I'm gonna have another baby there for you to take care of. Yo.
I just wanted to let you know. That's all.
I'm so sick. What about? See, this is why I love Black Ink though, because it's so fucking ratchet. Ryan and that girl sitting in the car with her.
Janet Jackson. Yeah.
8 Ball.
You need to go handle. What she said? You gotta go handle your business and do what you gotta do.
Do what you gotta do. Oh my God.
Jeremiah, you see what you missing?
All I heard was you wanna smell my poo.
Oh my, I know Jeremiah like, thank God I dumped this bitch. Like, she ain't got, oh my God.
The sense that God gave up.
And then you know, first of all, one thing that made me mad is that, listen, you know he ain't about that life. You know he cannot fight. Why would you try to make him go in there to get his ass whooped? If anything,
walking down the street.
Exactly. I would have been like this. I'd have been like, babe, don't even go in there. I don't want no problems. God, act like you trying to get away from me, Ryan. No, I don't. Nobody needs to get hurt.
He didn't even reach for the door handle.
Yeah, it was like.
At least pretend. He didn't even reach for the door handle. Exactly. For him to throw out her hand like, we can't do that to our children. They need to see you out here like this. He was like, roll up them windows when they see we out here.
Exactly. Like, he was fucking scared. Like, Viacom told him, you better bring your punk ass around there.
He was like, is it gotta be my car? So they know what my car looks like.
Like, I'm gonna just park,
me
like.
and Ryan might be from the same tribe. I'm like, I don't even know I was here.
I'm gonna park half a football field away.
Y'all get the shot of them and the shot of us.
And then y'all put it together.
Y'all can cut that shit together.
I just was like,
I'm not about to do. I am not about that life.
I was like,
pussy, whatever.
What the fuck is this? I just was like, what is this?
It's just so good. It's just the people who write this shit need to be writing regular TV, like, cause this shit is gold. It's gold. It's just so good.
Oh my God. I just was sitting there like, and she like, you gotta do what you go handle. I'm like, bitch, you know he ain't doing shit. Now what you want him to do? Go get beat up? Huh?
Oh my God.
Jeremiah ain't gonna take you back. Who gonna pay your bills? Like, girl, use some fucking common sense.
Who gonna be tattooing in the hotel now?
With another broken fucking hand, and now what he gonna do? What you gonna do? You got any basketball players you can fuck? Like, how we gonna pay the bills? Fucking whole bag. But she just made me like, I was like, is this bitch dumb?
Is you dumb?
And Ryan kind of had that feeling too. He was like, oh, I think.
Does she not know me?
Yeah, like, is this whole dumb? Like,
yeah,
bitch.
We've been together for a while. She know I don't like.
Bitch, stick to the lines. What the fuck is wrong with you?
We're going off script. We're going off script.
like fucking Westworld. I think we got a defective android, dumbass. How about I whoop your ass? How about I whoop your ass?
Oh my God.
And don't you beat me up on TV.
Right? Oh God. Too much.
I just can't. But then that end scene, I'm like, I don't know what's going to happen. But Ashley, like, baby girl, what did you expect? What did you expect? He ain't never been faithful to you. He had a baby on you. Like, what did you?
Yeah. I was telling my girlfriend at work, I was like, I know we love the drama, it was good, but I guess I swallowed the pill last season, and I was like really like thinking Don was different, and I was really here for a season of the struggle of him being faithful but not giving in, him still strip clubbing it with 4, and him still traveling without Ashley there, and not doing it. You know what I mean? Like that.
You didn't expect that he would fucking Snapchat himself
like
getting head.
The struggle of every guy allegedly that's out here in this life of being faithful to your woman that you love. I thought that would have been just as good of a storyline. I think people would have still tuned in for it. But womp womp on me. Congratulations, I played myself.
He like, why am I even try to fake and be? She don't give a fuck.
Yeah. So.
But
I don't know.
Wow.
I didn't see her driving that push present still. That Mercedes, did that get repossessed? Just ask him.
Shut up. You know it wasn't real.
To the new girl that show push present.
You know that wasn't real. She got that shit. Girl, Bob.
Oh, Lord.
You
Did
wish
you
you
watch
would
anything else this week?
You had everything on your list.
Yeah,
and I think I watched
me too.
all of that. Oh, no. The HBO show. With the family, and they were taking over the business. That was one of your picks.
I started and fell asleep.
Really? It's good.
You liked it?
Uh-huh. It is good.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to watch it. But I'm glad you liked it.
Oh, my God. They had one part where the guy actually, they go and play a baseball game. They get on helicopters and shit. Like rich people shit. And he gets there, and he tells the boy, like, oh, if you hit a home run, you make a home run, I'll give you $1 million. He was like, here's the check, this and that. $1 million. Like, I don't care. I'll give you $1 million if you do it. So the boy hits the ball, and he's running, and he's about to get home. So you like, oh, this is going to be their thing. Like, they just going to get a boy $1 million, and they, this is their charity thing. This is what they do. And when the boy goes to go home, they get the ball and tag him out. Yes, and it's a little boy. So then the guy you wanted to see, Macaulay Culkin's brother or whatever, because he looks like the evil version of Home Alone. Listen, Myles, unless you want to do some of that work. He takes the check and he was like, oh man, you almost had it. That was such a good effort, this and that, and blah, blah, blah. So you think he's going to like still give him the check. And he's like, yeah, no. He was like, you had to make the home and you didn't. Maybe next time.
Oh, they're douchebags. I love it.
Yeah, so then after
I did get a certain point to it, because I saw that the oldest brother thought he was going to take over the company, and he was setting up some big deal, but the guy backed out at the last minute, and
but tricked him into signing the papers.
Well, I didn't even get that far.
Oh yeah, he came there to the office for him to sign the papers and everything. And he was like, do I need to get the lawyer? Yeah, he was like, do I need to get the lawyer? And he was like, no, it's just to add, I guess, his new wife to the trust. He was like, it's no big deal. And he like, all right, well, whatever, and signed it. And then the daughter, when he gave her paper, she was like, well, I'll have my lawyers review it, and then I'll get back to you. And so when they was like, well, what's the name already signed? They like, you didn't have a lawyer look at it?
So what was the paper?
Basically that the father coming back and taking over.
Well, apparently, so he's had a drug problem, the oldest.
Uh-huh.
And the girl is married. The guy she's married to is another guy from Ripper Street.
Really?
Yeah, I like him a lot.
But it was so funny because the boy, they go over to the boy from the baseball game and they like, you got to sign non-disclosure. But they like, hi, yeah, that was a really good effort, this and that. Can we get you to sign these non-disclosure agreements? So.
I'm telling everybody.
But then they showed the sister husband the daughter's husband like is going crazy. Like, what do I buy your father? What do I buy your father? Yeah. So she like, listen, spend 15 to 20,000 or 50,000, whatever the amount was. She was like, and just leave it alone because you'll never be able to please him. So he buys him this really expensive watch and everything. And then you see the boy watching the news of when the father actually, I don't know if he dies or has the heart attack on a helicopter. And the watch is right there on his dresser that they gave the boy to watch to sign the non-disclosure agreements.
Shoot. Okay,
I was cracking up.
You enjoyed it.
It was really. It reminded me of.
I hadn't really heard about it, so you was like,
no.
I don't even know what this is.
Yeah, because I don't watch any commercials, but it reminded me of Dirty Sexy Money.
Okay.
Like where the family is kind of quirky and everything. It was really, really good, and oh man, and then they have one of the, so he's a family member. And he was, apparently they own like Disney World type places and things like that. So he was there for the program, the train or whatever. And he was like one of the characters. But he had got high and smoked something.
Oh, yes. And he puked through the eye.
Yeah, because his face was up there. So he's throwing up through the thing. And they fire him. And his mother like, did you tell him who you are? I thought she was going to be one of the kids that was kind of like they kicked her out, like she did something and they wasn't. And she was like, did you tell him? And he was like, yeah, no, this and that. She was like, listen, get dressed. You're going to your uncle's, whatever.
Yeah.
And they sent him over there. And it turns out that his grandfather is the father's brother.
Oh, okay.
And so he's like kind of talking like, oh, this and this and that. And so he was like, and I was wondering if you could get me in the manager trainee program. And these people throwing around money like it's that. So then he says, I'll do it. He was like, just tell your grandfather to call me and ask me. So he like, okay. So he called the grandfather. He like, grandpa said, grandfather said, happy birthday, this and this and that, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, did he really say that? He was like, well, no, he did acknowledge that it was your birthday. So it's like this guy is now, I'm assuming he's going to stick around the family because he has nothing else. And he's trying to get a job at the amusement park or whatever. So he's around there and he's like in a different lifestyle than them. But he was mentioning something. He's like, well, grandfather says that per the trust or something that he would be on the board and he's willing to give up that seat if you do this. So I don't know if it's that the father started the business or was it a family business or did the father and the brother start the business and then he kind of got the brother out, like what happened. But it was really good.
Okay, I'm glad. I got something to watch tonight.
Oh yeah, the summer TV is like popping this year. I'm like all here for it.
That was a good pick.
Yes.
Okay.
And then what else did I watch? I watched a lot of Little Women LA. I had to get caught up on that.
Oh my Lord.
I did. And one of the things was the girl wanted the white girl, Tara, the one that kind of made the show or whatever. She was starting a wine called Black Girl Moscato.
I'm sorry, who?
Mm-hmm.
Say what now? Did you say about the one? Didn't one get sent to prison recently? Somebody from Little Women?
No, who?
I can't remember.
Let me see.
I saw it on the news. But one of your Little Women got sentenced to something.
Let me check my Googles.
Little Women in jail. That's so wrong, but it's so right. Yeah, Atlanta's Melissa Hancock arrested for DUI.
Oh, she ain't even really on the show.
Yeah.
Because in Atlanta, it's all black.
Okay. That was the last one I had heard, but I think she got sentenced or something recently.
Yeah, she not a little.
She don't count? Okay.
Yeah, because I guess she probably was on one episode as a friend of a friend that they were trying to bring in. Like, y'all be stretching it. Like, she is not on it. Because now Atlanta is definitely all black with the exception of the Tiny Twins.
Oh, okay.
It's all black.
Oh, okay. So you got any picks for this week?
Absolutely not.
Never do your homework.
I know.
I got 2 for me, 1 for you. Because I ain't watching this shit.
A murder show?
Marlon is coming back.
Oh, the comedy. Yeah.
It's coming back on the 14th, which I guess that's Wednesday?
I'm not watching it, but whatever.
Yeah, Thursday. It's coming back Thursday on NBC. I was not a fan last year, but you and your daughter enjoyed it, I think.
I didn't watch that shit. Did I watch that shit?
Yeah,
My daughter watches it.
Oh, okay.
I'm not watching
it. You was trying to convince me to tune back in. I thought you had watched it with her.
I just don't find... Not that I guess they are funny. They make money doing... They're not my type of funny. Right. I'm more of a drier humor. Like, it doesn't need to be so overtly clothes on backwards or things like that. Right. Like, let me get it. Oh, did you watch Last OG?
Not this week.
Oh, you whack.
No.
It's really good. Yeah.
Okay. So that's 2 things I gotta watch today. All right.
But yeah, I'm not watching Marlon, but I heard it's funny. My daughter likes it.
Well, Goliath is back on Amazon on the 15th. That's
okay, yes.
About the lawyer.
Oh, wait, did you watch The Affair, the last episode?
I did. I don't know why you told me to watch that one. I was so lost.
Well, of course you're going to be lost because you ain't watched the rest of them, but it was a good episode.
It was good.
See?
I was like,
of course you're not going
to care about them. I don't know. So,
you
it was just weird because the last time I had watched it, like the daughter was so young, and then to see her out there with a man and he beating on her and stuff. I'm like, what? In 2 seasons, this bitch is grown? But
well, she not. That's the whole problem.
Right. Well, I figured that when I saw it, and the guy is like 50 or something, and he's sleeping with all these other women too. But I'm like, what do you expect, Dad, when you out here doing the same thing? What did you think of that last episode?
Oh my God, it was so... That show is just so fucking good. Let me tell you. And then remember I was telling you that he takes the weight for killing the guy in a car accident. But it was always like, well, who was he trying to cover for? Is it the girl he was having an affair with that actually pushed him out? Or was it the wife who actually hit him with the car? Mm-hmm. They both, kind of was at some... Yeah, and it from his point, it was like, well, are you protecting your wife or are you protecting this girl? So the wife always believed, you're protecting me. The girl always believed, you're protecting me. These two meet at the bar. It was like a bad joke. I love that they put them at a bar because it's like, you always hear these jokes, like 2 whatever meet at a bar. They met at a bar. And they're drinking and this and that. And then they start to tell the story. And she's like, the wife is like, it was all my fault and I actually did it. And she's looking like, bitch, I'm the one who pushed him the fuck out of there. Like, I actually did it. So now, where the wife and him were kind of getting on this path, and I don't know if they were really going to get back together because he like a drug addict now or whatever. But they were like getting close or whatever. Now it's like, yeah, you weren't trying to protect me after all. You were protecting, yeah. And her family is rich, so they're like, because she like, I gotta go tell everybody what happened. I can't take it anymore that people treat him this way, and he was only trying to protect me. They locked her in a fucking bunker in their house, and was like, you're telling no one.
I know that's So how did he end up in Paris though? Just doing research for a book?
And that he was messing with that. You saw that lady. Yeah, and her husband is dying, and she out there, and her daughter was like, everybody know you fucking him. Like, knock it off. Why your husband dying, you with him? But that's what he was out there doing, like, working on the book or whatever. Yeah. But that episode, oh my God, it was so good because you see him see this guy slap his daughter, and you're like,
yeah, that was a lot.
What? Like, absolutely not. And then I like how the story, one of the things I loved about that last episode, because every episode is told this way. It's told from
multiple views. Yeah.
Exactly. Of the 2 people who are in that episode, like his side, her side. And in this one, it was the French ladies and is it French or Parisian? I don't know.
Same.
Is it the same thing?
French,
yeah, whatever. So it was her and then it was Noah's. And I love that one scene where her friends come up to her and they're speaking to her and they give you the subtitles of what they were saying and this and that. Then when they do Noah's version,
no subtitles.
Yeah, and so you're seeing it from his perspective that while they're talking about him and her, what she's doing, he doesn't know. And he's like, yeah, great. It was nice seeing your friends, right?
What I've always liked about the show, but also not liked, is So when they ran into the friends in her version, they were walking along the Seine and reading poetry. And when they ran into the friends in his version, they were in a marketplace. And so I've always found it weird, like, which one is real?
No, they were still in the same area. It was the same exact thing.
I thought they were by the bridge. They were, because they actually...
The bridge is there. When they at the...
But I saw water at the back of him. Because when he went to bend down to kiss her, she was like, oh no, we're out in public. They were standing at the water's edge. And then in his, they were in, like, it seemed more touristy. It didn't seem as, or, you know what I mean? Like, just, I don't know. That was always weird to me. Like, even in that respect, I couldn't tell that it was the same exact.
I thought that it was the same, and then that at some point they're walking along and going up, because I think she even says, like, why are you here? This is like the tourist area or something.
Well, she says to him, this is tourist Paris, not real Paris.
Paris, yeah, and that they were walking around.
She didn't say that to him in her version.
Yeah, I think that's their, like, what's the name, or how they seem, but it seemed like it was the same area, if I'm not mistaken, when they bump into the friends.
Maybe they just showed you different,
like parts of it. Yeah, like it went a little bit further, because maybe it's like, well, there's really no difference at that point, but the difference was that the way he was viewing their conversation versus what was being said and everything. And I just love that little small detail. I really like that they changed it to kind of give that version of it. It was just, I just love that show, and it's coming back. Oh, so that'll be my pick, The Fear. Does it come back this week or next week? I think it's next week.
Maybe next week. I think it was the 20-something. But
I think it's the 17th.
Claus is also back this week. It's coming back Monday.
Oh, and that's your show.
Yes, I love me some Snatch, Niecy Nash, honey. Yeah, June 17th, you're right, for The Affair on Showtime.
And that's my show.
So those are our picks for this week.
Yes, I don't have any picks this week. Any? No.
Nothing else I saw. We got so many good ones to come on this week. Just watch Pose.
Yeah, I'm going to be watching Pose, Dietland.
Yeah. We don't have to well, I'm going to rewatch the 3rd episode, because that will be the episode we get this week. So I'll probably rewatch it sometime.
No, that's going to be, I think that this one is going to be the 4th episode coming up.
See, I thought the 3rd, because they showed the 2, but I didn't think they aired the 3rd one. The 3rd one was just on the app.
I didn't watch them on the app.
Oh, okay. Oh, I did.
So the first 2 that they were, oh no, it is. That is going to be it. Let me see. F this is the one. Oh no, it is right. It's going to be next week. Oh, so that was dumb.
Yeah. Why not? That was that episode about her quitting
the drugs, yeah. I'm about to say, I didn't watch them on the app. I watched them on demand. And they were all there.
So they were all there on demand too. So they did the same thing on the app. They had all 3 up there.
I ain't got time for that, because that's that shit they did with the Shy, and then now you're going to be weeks behind, because they don't understand. Then I just don't care. By the time they come back around, I'm going to be over it, because now I'm...
moved on to something else.
No. It's over for you. Over for you. I was there for y'all. Alright, so we're going to get up out of here. You got any other... Alright, so new episodes available every Tuesday on, oh my god, I'm starving. Google, iTunes, YouTube, everywhere.
There's a fair outside. We can smell all the goodness.
Yeah, I gotta go eat. I'm starving. So I'm out of here. We'll see y'all next week.
#stay addicted.
Peace out.